everyone and welcome back to the channel for today's video. So in today's video I wanted to do my kind of seasonal switch up that I do with my Plaza all the time. I did this last year as well, so I've kind of done an iteration of this before, but as some of you know I did change the entire layout of my Plaza this year. So I wanted to again switch it up from Halloween over to the winter season. Now this is going to be completely wintry, so if you're not a fan of Christmas or you don't celebrate Christmas, this is a really good alternative. I will be obviously doing this in a winter theme and then changing it to Christmas further down the line, but for now I just wanted to keep it really icy, really snowy, and use a lot of the wintry items that we have in game. So let's get started. So as you can see, to start off with, I've removed a lot of the trees and things like that I felt like didn't really fit with the winter theme. I obviously kept a couple of them and obviously changed them up as we go along, but I obviously wanted to make sure I included a lot of the snowy trees. Obviously with Wish Blossom Ranch coming out so soon, we know we're going to be getting some more of those kind of wintry alpine trees and kind of things that fit that theme, so I probably will add some of those in here when that drops. But for now I wanted to use a lot of the more wintry style foliage that we have in the game already. Now once I'd done the majority of the trees and the foliage around this front kind of part of the plaza behind these first set of row of houses, I decided to start placing some furniture, and I added in some of these snowy hedges that we got in the premium shop last Christmas, I think it was, and obviously started to look at the different furniture that I had placed out that I wanted to use. Now obviously, as always, I don't end up using all of this because there is way too much to fit in this space, especially as obviously I'm not starting the biome completely from scratch, but I do use a significant amount. And if there's anything in particular that you don't recognize or you wonder where I got it from, leave a comment below and I can let you know. But there is a huge mixture in here of stuff from the Royal Winter Star Path that we've had, a lot of other kind of the other wintry one we got last year, as well as a lot of premium shop stuff. It is a huge mix in here, so if there's anything in particular you don't recognize, then do let me know. Now, as you can see, I'm currently doing the kind of seating section by the bakery and the coffee shop. I did have these in kind of the matching tables and chairs, but I decided for this to add some more icy ones from the Frozen collection. And then I also started adding in my lampposts around the biome. You could definitely stick with the same lampposts I was using before, which was the craftable ones, but I just felt like this was a good opportunity to use these ones that we got in the Wintry Star Path, and then also started changing the pathway for the road and the pavement to the nice snowy one, and then the asphalt to kind of match it, just to give it that more kind of icy bluey look. You could definitely use whatever ones you wanted, but I just felt like this worked. Another good alternative, if you are someone who's a fan of Touch of Magic, is you could definitely use Touch of Magic rugs to make kind of snowier pathways, a snowy road. That's something that I don't have the skills for, but I feel like would be a nice challenge one time to try and do. But that could be a really, really fun alternative if you wanted to make it look even more snowy in here. Now, when it came to these two open side sections, if you are familiar with my plaza, I originally had this as two areas with two different gazebos, and then for Halloween I switched it up and added in the potion shop and the fortune teller's tent, and now they are obviously open again to be kind of our seasonal area. So I decided to add in the wintry blue gazebo, which is absolutely gorgeous, and then I was going to add the ice rink or the winter pond, but they were just too big, so I decided to go with the craftable igloo instead. So this is something that if you don't have those items and you wanted something super festive, this igloo is a really big object that can kind of fit those kinds of spaces, and you can definitely put a lot of theming around. So I decided to obviously pop those into those two spots and then start to move furniture around that would work with the two different ones. For the wintry gazebo, I decided to again go for like a musical theme and add some of these musical instruments that we have from that same star path into it. Annoyingly, you can't put the piano underneath it, it's too tall, so I did have to put that outside, but then it gave me space to add in a bench, and I will add in like a table and things like that as we go on. But for now I wanted to add that in, and then obviously started adding in some of the big ice crystals that we have from the same star path. Now, as always, as you can see, I'm adding in kind of different items and things in front of the houses. I like to make it look as though the houses themselves have kind of decorated for the season. So for Halloween, I had some trick-or-treat buckets and things like that outside, and kind of gave them their own theme. But for this one, I obviously wanted to do the same. So I added like the little light-up reindeers in front of one of the houses, and then some different items in front of other ones, and kind of utilize the space I have to make them feel really, really festive, and kind of fit the whole theme. Even though the houses themselves obviously aren't necessarily wintry, you could definitely change up the houses in here for some of the wintry ones we've got. Like we have that really cute kind of like family Christmas home. We've also got the winter palace, but this is obviously just showing you how to change up the existing buildings you have, and make them feel more festive, even though Charlotte's bright yellow house definitely isn't wintry to me, but I felt like I wanted to try and challenge myself to incorporate it into the different seasons, as I have been doing, rather than change them up. But that is definitely another alternative, and I feel like it'd be really cool to see a version of this using the winter houses. Now, once I kind of finished up some of the foliage around the back, added in some different kind of plants. I kept it very neutral rather than using a lot of the brightly coloured ones. I kept it with a lot of kind of dark greens, blues and things like that. I didn't want it to feel too bright or colourful. I wanted to kind of keep with that theme. Once I'd done that, I started adding in some other furniture objects I wanted to fit in, like lots of the craftable snowmen. These are really, really great to use if you don't have a lot of these items, because they are craftable, and I think they're quite easy resource wise. Obviously you're going to need a lot of snow, but I feel like they're not too difficult to make if I am remembering correctly. So these are really fun to use. And then obviously added in some other items that before I started doing the trees behind the haunted mansion and the Victorian house. I did have to kind of move the flowers and sticks that I kind of hide behind here in order to fit the trees in, but I did my best to kind of obviously incorporate more wintry trees just to kind of fit with the whole biome theme. the little grassy courtyard parts behind the bakery and the coffee shop, I added in the frosted fountain. There's definitely others you could use, but I really felt like these fit really well in this spot. And then added in a couple of trees and different plants, again fitting the same theme. I really loved using these big icy kind of curly plants that we got from the Storybook Vale DLC. These just fit perfectly in any frosted area to me. I have these all over Frosted Heights when I had it decorated, so I definitely want to utilize them here. Obviously the green grass underneath kind of throws it off slightly, but I did my best to cover as much of that as possible and keep it kind of feeling very fitting. Adding different kind of green trees and plants around the whole biome helps to keep the grass kind of blended in, as well as the hedges that are around the Haunted Mansion and the Victorian house. Having those elements of green meant that this grass didn't seem as out of place as it could have, so I felt like kind of keeping that theme going throughout helped keep it feeling very consistent. Now, as I moved on to the side parts where we obviously have our 4 different exits to all the different biomes, I kind of struggled to kind of fill in these gaps from the plants I had here before, because I had a lot of the really small Eternity Owl plants, which obviously are very bright green and colourful. So there wasn't too many that would fit in this tiny little gap, but I managed to squeeze some in all around the edge and added in the archway into the middle to kind of be the centerpiece. And then after that, I went round and added in a couple of blue light lampposts by the Haunted Mansion, the Victorian house, and in these kind of back areas. And when you see me walk through during like sunset and nighttime, you'll see that these kind of add a really nice blue glow to everything. I was going to add them into the main street, but I just felt like it might be a bit too overwhelming. But that's definitely something you could do if you wanted it to look even more blue and icy as you walk through the whole biome. Now, as you can see at this point, I'm going through the remaining furniture pieces that I have left and kind of dotting them into areas I felt like could utilize some more or had some kind of gappy areas. I added in a lot of these different crystals because I just felt like they brought such a nice vibe and they're kind of versatile. You can put them wherever you want, and having the 3 different sizes made it easy to kind of squeeze those in. So as you can see, I'm going to pop some of that furniture in and figure out the kind of last bits of where I want everything to go. Now, one of the final elements of what I did in the build was go around and add in a load of the craftable melted candles. You could also use the ones from Scrooge's. I love adding these to just give a really nice warm vibe. Obviously, if you are on a lower item limit, this can definitely eat that up. So I would give it a miss if you don't want to kind of eat away at that. But I love to add these around and just make it feel really warm and cozy in here. I'll definitely be doing this as well when I do it in a Christmassy theme. And I just know, everyone knows I love melted candles and put them absolutely everywhere. So this was no exception. And then one of the final things I do before wrapping up is add some of the blue butterflies that we got from the premium shop. Only a couple of them at a couple of the different entrances and exits to fit with the blue theme. And then some of the floating candles that we got in the premium shop and in a previous star path to fit that warm, cozy feeling. So here is the final build. As you can see, I've made it nighttime so you can see everything glowing. And as you can see, when we've got our entrance from the well, we've got these gorgeous archways from the premium shop and the floating candles with the fountain in the middle to be kind of your main centerpiece. It felt really bright and really glowy in here. And then outside the 2 different food shops, we've obviously got the icy chairs and the white tables with some kind of festive style food on them to kind of get us excited for Christmas. But I definitely wanted to change the vibe out here and make it feel a lot more wintry. And then as we head to our exit to the meadow in the middle, we've obviously got our glowing snowy hedges as well as lots of crystals to fit the theme. And then as we walk down this first side of the plaza, we've got Charlotte's house on the left with the reindeers out the front that obviously whoever's living here has decorated with. We've also got our matching benches, and then we've also got our little courtyard section, which obviously hasn't changed, with the pond in the middle for the haunted mansion. As you can see, the blue lampposts add this really nice glow into certain areas of the plaza. This could definitely be extended. I think I could definitely add more of these, but I wanted to kind of see how it felt only having them in these kind of little pocket areas of the build. We've then obviously got our gazebo with our musical instruments and our little table and chairs in there. We've then got a little archway with a snowman in, and then our exit out to the 2 different biomes. And then obviously in this middle bit at the end of the road, I did add in the gorgeous glowing star. If anyone was here when that first came out, you will know the inside joke about that star, but I felt like it had to be added for that exact reason, and also it just looked really cute in a wintry theme. And then as we head down to the opposite side of the plaza, we can obviously see our kind of symmetrical road layout that we've always had, and the same little bench next to the bakery. We've then obviously got Lady's house, which has got some snowmen and a fountain outside. And then the flower shop I wanted to keep feeling quite floral, so I did add a couple of icy things, but I had kept the flowers on the floor, and obviously the foliage by the greenhouse, just to kind of keep it in theme with the fact that it is a flower shop, but just kind of tune and change it to winter, where obviously that wouldn't be as much of a thing. As we're going through here, obviously you can see some of the blue butterflies that I added. I didn't want to overdo it with these, but you could definitely add some more if you wanted to. We've then got our igloo in front of Lady's house, which again has got a lot of blue foliage and the blue lampposts to really make it glow. I think this house works really well in a winter theme anyway because of the blue colour of it, but I wanted to kind of extend that even more. And then the final part is our little obviously matching courtyard, and then our little back section behind the bakery. So So here are some shots of the final build at night time. I felt like this was just the best time to show you it because it just made all the blue colours pop as well as all the lights being on in the building. But I hope you guys did enjoy and you do like this seasonal switch up for winter. I'm very happy I decided to go with a winter theme before obviously eventually changing it over to Christmas, because it gives it a bit of a change, and also is probably beneficial for those of you who want to decorate this time of year but don't want to decorate it in Christmas. It's not your thing, or you don't celebrate, or you're just not interested. So this gives you a nice alternative of how to kind of change it up, but in a more wintry theme. So let me know down below what you think, and make sure you like the video and subscribe, as it helps me out so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.